Hello once again, everybody. Konnichiwa. So, right now it is 3 in the morning, almost 4 in the morning back home. So, Ohio gozaimasu. Good morning. For me, it is almost 6 o'clock at night. Um, so, konbanwa to me. Um, that is good evening. So, wanted to do a small little update video. Um, some things I like I've mentioned many times before. I've got the memory of a goldfish, so I don't know what all I've said before. Um, I am taking my class over for the semester. Um, so what happened is a lot of I've learned that this has happened with quite a few other students. Um, a lot of us were not made aware just how much studying we needed beforehand before coming to Japan. I kind of figured, I shouldn't need that much. I let them know that I know absolutely no um, uh, Japanese, but that most Americans don't know. Americans know sayonara, um, konnichiwa, arigato. Um, those of us that are older may remember Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Um, that one's the song for you youngins. Um, anywho, um, but they expected us to already know two of the written languages in their entirety. So hiragana and katakana. Those are the two languages two written languages I was supposed to know before I got here. I know them now, so my issue is I can read what is presented in front of me, although very slowly, except for kanji. I cannot read kanji yet, besides like maybe 10 characters. Um, what was I getting at? Brain go bye bye. I was supposed to know all that. I can finally read it, but in that entire time it took me to train myself to read those characters, I missed out on everything from the beginning. Um, so there's a lot of words that I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know how to form uh, a basic sentence besides saying my name, which is Watashi wa Adam des. Um, it's just saying my name is Adam. But yeah. So I decided to take the class over again. I would like to, stay here in Japan. There's a lot going for me health wise, I would suppose, here in Japan. I feel, for the most part, I feel better. There is a problem that's going around of Japan. I guess like a few decades ago, Japan planted a crap ton of trees, and now all the pollen. I think they're cypress trees they planted. All that pollen is going all over Japan. It doesn't matter where the hell you. I'm in the northern part of Tokyo, and I still get affected by it. Um, and uh, it's killing my allergies, and with my health issues, history of cancer, stuff like that, I get sick really easily. So a small allergic reaction can turn into a sinus infection really quick. And even if I baby it, like I put peroxide in my ears, I gargle peroxide, take all sorts of medications, it could still get pretty bad to where I have a cough that will rival most chain smokers. Like some of the worst smokers, I can probably out cough them, um, which is no fun. Um, so I am more reliant on masks over here than I am back in America. But even though I lived in the woodsy cornfields area, um, that was mostly not too bad until the actual spring or fall hits. Then it gets really bad. But anywho, I digressed. Um, Taking the class over now. Some of you that are on my Facebook that watch this perhaps know, or maybe you don't know, maybe you haven't seen on there, maybe you're staying off Facebook for reasons. Um, there's a chance I may be forced to come home anyway, despite everything. So, um, what's going on is the cost of living here was a little more than I anticipated. Um, Even though the school gave me a flat plan, they didn't. They can't accommodate for everything. Um, with me having my health issues, um, I'm not on the dorms meal plan yet. That's been a nightmare trying to get that set up. Why is my forehead so shiny? Now that I mention it, okay, yep, that's how it is. Anywho, um, I need to get on the dorms meal plan. Because so far I've just been eating out every day. I have something really cheap at a convenience store for breakfast just to keep me from being distracted by hunger at school. And then after school, I'll go to somewhere and get uh, something um, easy on my stomach, and that will be it for the entire day. Um, but yeah, it's been a tad bit more expensive than I would have liked, so I'm already out of all the funds that I would like to have. Sorry, I'm seeing dust. Um, all the funds I would like to have to go out and do fun things, because right now I'm already on a schedule of go to school, go home, go to school, go home, go to school, go home. Now I'm trying to find a job. Problem is, most jobs around here are going to require a little Japanese conversational level that I do not have. Now, there are some jobs that do not require Japanese at all. I'm trying to apply at Team Labs. I'm going to see if my history of working with Disney will help me get into work at Tokyo Disney or Disney Sea. I also have experience with Starbucks and Round One, which is the Japanese version of Dave and Buster's. Um, so I'm hoping that will, you know, hoping that will work. Um, if I can't get a job and or if I cannot get a grasp on this language by, let's see, July, August, September, they're going to start calling for oh, what the hell is it? Renewing my dorm uh, lease around August, I believe, because the second term ends in September. Um, and if I can't get either of these down, I would prefer to get both because I don't want to live off my mom's money. Not unless not unless we find out we're related to some rich person who just happens to keel off and we're the only inheritors. Um, Finances are probably the biggest issue right now because she's struggling to. I wouldn't say she's struggling. Uh, she's trying. She's trying her best. Um, and she's just one person. Works at a bank. She's tried looking for better jobs around Southern Illinois, but there's not that many to be had. Plus, there's a lot many that she's able to do because when I was there, the only good paying jobs were factories. You had to, but a lot of them were like stuff that required some kind of medical degree, like nursing or um, medical school, stuff like that. Uh, there was a job with the U.S. Post Office um, that would have paid pretty well. However, they took so long that like she waited forever and ever and ever, and then like way past the deadline. They just said, "Oh yeah, we decided to close that position anyway." Um, so she's stuck at a job that she hates, doesn't pay well, and I'm looking for anything that I'm qualified to do. There's also strict limitations on where I can work and for how long I can work as a student. So, like, there's a bar in Shibuya called Lost. There's another YouTuber, he's really big, called Abroad in Japan. He opened up that bar, and it's mostly English speaking in there. And I've got bartending experience, so I would love to do that. However, as a student, I am not allowed to work at a bar or any nightlife job. So I don't know if I think I'm barred from working at hotels as well, just because Japan has love hotels. I'm not going to explain what that is. Look it up if you want to. The word love should kind of give you a key right then and there. Um, but yeah, there's there it is again, shiny forehead squirrel. Um, but yeah, uh, you know that's life, I guess. Sometimes things don't work out. Like, um, I was supposed to have a classmate who understood Japanese pretty well. She was supposed to help me out. Um, and then one day she just stopped talking to me. Um, gives like one word replies on WeChat. Um, doesn't even say hi to me. It's in class anymore. She says she's just exhausted from a part time job. Um, but I'm old enough to know I'm being lied to, so I don't know what I did, but fuck it. Um, but yeah, so I've got backup plans, um, but I don't know what plan. There's a lot kind of riding on it. I can go back to Illinois and I could live with my mom, and without a car, I'm kind of screwed. I would have to do school only online, um, which I myself wouldn't mind, but living there, um, kind of sucks. It's nothing but cornfields. Uh, I like my privacy. I miss my privacy. I would miss my privacy. Life is just kind of just doesn't want to work out in my favor sometimes. Um, but I can move back to Illinois, focus solely on school somehow, and I could either live with her or I could live. She might help me pay for an apartment closer to whichever school that I go to, um, if that's even a thing. Um, it's either that or what I would really hope is I wish she would move to Florida with me. I don't miss the politics of Florida, or the hot summer days, but I miss Disney. I do. Um, Disney World was, for the most part, the only job I've ever had where I looked forward to going to work. Um, my days were usually great. Now that I'm a little more, uh, I'm just going to say it. Now that I'm medicated, I feel like I could handle the stress a lot better. Besides dealing with, um, there's some snotty people that you deal with at any job. I had uh, when I worked at Galaxy's Edge, I had a great time. Working at Magic Kingdom, that was the job that I first got assaulted at by guests, um, and they were quite hostile. And like I had maybe 3 incidents in the, God, what was it? 2.5 years I was at Galaxy's Edge. and then the record for that incident thing got broken in my first week of being at Magic Kingdom. Um, yeah. Um, I think it might just. I've had a lot of friends say they liked Magic Kingdom, but just not Fantasyland. That's where I was at. Um, but then I got transferred to Test Track at Epcot. Loved that. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're going to have to deal with the drunks." I never had that issue, thankfully. There was only one time uh, I had to deal with any kind of thing, but it was very short because it was way past time for me to clock out, but we were short staffed. Um, this big man claiming he was with the military decided that he was going to go through the single rider line with his entire family and scream at us because he couldn't get in the same cart as the rest of his family. Um, you know, I don't know if he was truly military or not, but he was a douchebag. That's all I know. Um, him and his wife, Jesus Christ, they made my trainer cry. So yeah. Um, Anywho, yeah, that's the gist of it. Finances are they're a pain in the ass everywhere. So unless I get some kind of inheritance, or if I don't know if I can make that joke on YouTube, so I'm not gonna. Um, it was gonna rhyme with lonely pans. Um, what the hell is wrong with me? Um, Anywho, excuse me. Yeah, just finances. They're a bitch, and it's everywhere. And the high cost of living in America is not exactly helping out my situation with my only support coming from America. Um, yeah, that's that's life. I won't be I won't be bitter about coming back. I think, but I will be depressed just because the state of America. Here I can tune out the news in America a lot easier versus being back in Illinois having some Fox News playing at full blast on the television upstairs. But it is what it is. I will live. Um, if only I could live comfortably. So, um, yeah, if there's any rich person out there wanting to buy me a house here in Japan and give me a card that is only good for food or something, let me know. I will do what I need to do for that. So yeah, um, that's all I've got. That's all I could think of. Not on any script. I'm just kind of blurting things out at this moment. Um, I don't know if there's anything else I got to say.